Just 3 months ago, we spun the spec wheel to see what spec we were going to pug from 0 to 3K, and we landed on sub rogue.
Brother,
Now, we ended up setting the ground rules for this season, added a little more stakes and a little bit more challenge to it, and dove right in, and we started week 1 terrible, if you don't recall, with terrible damage, terrible pug groups, no idea what the heck we were doing, and honestly, the only thing that has truly changed from week 1 to the present day today is that the spec went from rank 24 on the tier list all the way down to 26. And to kick things off with the Great Vault, we get a mythic track helm that we end up turning into tier. And before we dive into any of all of this week, I want to let you all know that I tried my hardest to get done with this challenge, so I ran 34 keys and bricked 20 of them. Yes, 20 of them. But I'm not going to show you every single key because we'd be here for too long, and then you might be like, I'm honestly concerned for your boy and his damn sanity. But we kick it off with the AA12 that we got from the vault. And goddamn,
that's a lot of damage.
And then, you know, I was nicely reminded that you're playing the worst spec in the game.
Wow.
And then we end up timing that AA12, which turns into a 13 AV, which is a great key to have, honestly, during a fort week, unless you end up pugging a druid tank and a shadow priest together, where the shadow priest likes to die a lot. The tank does a weird little route and then decides, when we only got 12 minutes left in a dream to at least time this key, to go AFK. And, you know, we're all gonna pull aggro and wipe. Fast forward to the AV12 though, don't get your hopes up because of course we brick it, because for some reason the Demon Hunter tank wants to take this pull with 4 Crystalline Furies, not enough CC to prevent all those casts.
Hey, no, never.
Hey, disconnected.
Then I end up with another gem of a tank who literally dies all the time. I've never seen a Demon Hunter tank die so much, but he died a ton, and then we end up getting the last boss down, and I get completely psyched out because we don't have enough percent. Somehow we did AV, no skip, didn't have enough percentage, and that literally threw the key. And now we went from that beautiful 13 all the way down to a 10 Uldamon, which we ended up bricking in OT.
And you failed.
Because we +2'd that Nelth, got an AA11. You know how much I like that dungeon because I feel like I kind of got my cooldowns down. And well, the proof is in the pudding, mi amigos.
Nice.
We almost broke 400K overall for the first fucking time. And then, of course, we end up with a Nelth +12 and a Huntard that ends up dying all the time. In the arms of the angel. And we wipe right before the second boss, but this whole thing could still potentially be timeable. I don't know, maybe. Up until, you know, the Hunter dies again, and he has to run back.
Bruh.
Week 10 was getting screwed by tanks. I get a blood DK, we hop into the 11 Nelth, does a big pull, dies on the first pull, and after a rock skip, hop, a couple bricks, we end up getting a no-cood +12, which we end up timing, and I get the neck from it, which was a huge upgrade over my veteran neck I was using. And that no-cood ended up giving us a 13 HOI, which we ended up timing and completing, closing the gap down to just a mere 99 rating left. And your boy was pumped because now we had our first 14 key and it was a 14 AV that we bricked, but we ended up timing the 13 and got some rating out of it, so I'll take that. I'm glad that that key is so forgiving on the timer, but unfortunately that gave me a no-cood 14 on a fortified week, which obviously sounds like hell now, doesn't it? And we bricked that all the way down to a 12 where the range had no brain and couldn't do the spears, so we ended up wiping and bricking that. And then when we had the 11, well, the key wasn't the only thing that got bricked up, alright? You know what I'm saying? Then after finally completing that no-cood 10, we end up with a Ruby Life Boost 12, which we end up timing, giving us a 13 Bracken Hide. But after every successful key that gives us rating, it's always followed by a tank that likes to screw me. And this tank did a massive fortified mangle pull as a paladin, where we don't have enough CC to stop the mangles.
I have had it with these stupid jackasses.
Ooh, did we do some magic in that 12, because we finally broke the 400K mark and did 412K DPS overall. that was the highlight of the literal week. This ended up giving us an AV key that ended up getting completed on a +12, where you might not recognize someone, but they did know me because Agitate from the previous episode, who ended up pugging and doing an Udamon with us that we ended up bricking extremely fast. Might have been record-breaking brick there. Just kidding, there have been way worse keys. Ended up sliding his way in on his monk this time, and unfortunately we have a bad trend where we have not timed a key together, but I think it's safe to say that Agitate is probably agitated with your boy, and I apologize. And then a throwback to the previous season. Hi YouTube! So I ended up asking him at the end of the key if that comment was aimed at me. Conquifador is back, and this time he's Nicholas Mage, and he ended up giving me a tip last week about using tricks to trade on the first boss in AA, and we ended up the week with just him timing in AA 11.
Now you're my bitch.
With only 69 rating left to go in week 11, I needed to make the push on a Tyran week to finish up this damn challenge. I ran another 30 keys, and of course we bricked 16 of them. Forgot to hit record at the top of this Ruby life pools, but we did the first pool, tank died, and went offline. So I took that new 12 key and pugged my way into a Bracken High 12 so I could re-roll the key, and we finished with 10 seconds left.
Let's go!
And then we ended up with a Tyranoku 12, which could have been a disaster, but we do end up timing this key, and your boy's a little dummy. I run right through a charge, but this Demon Hunter, huge shout out, literally our only B-res in the group because he's got the little wrist strappies, and he B-reses me, gets a B-res on the Hunter during the intermission, just leaping around like a little demon boy. It was pretty freaking amazing. So we actually ended up +2ing this key, which gave us a Brackenhide 14, which is a little scary on a Tyran week with that first boss, and I was an idiot on the first boss and died. And I ended up catching the B-res, and I got by the game. I literally lagged out, disconnected, came back, and that DC literally cost us the key. It just basically spiraled us out of control from there, and that was utterly disappointing because I bricked that key all the way down to 11.
Thank you!
And at this point, all I need is like 12 to 14 keys of very specific ones. It's super hard to get into a group as a rogue, so I just stayed with my key. Ended up pugging a 3-stack into my group, and well, damn, I had a potato moment on the second boss, and I don't know why the Paladin didn't B-res me, and the Evoker went for this. We bricked that key, but at least we've completed the key, so I got an HOI 11 out of it, and we end up +2ing that HOI, which gives us a +12 AA, which I do actually need for some ratings, so that was actually really sweet, but we just had a weird tank with some weird route decisions that caused some wipes, and and with that, we end up with an Udamon 11, which we end up wiping on the fourth boss, bricking the key, of course. And from here, we just take what I like to call the Mythic Plus roller coaster. And we get off that ride at the pit stop of another AA +12, where, we did our best damage again. My boy, your boy, I'm the boy. We're figuring this damn spec out in this damn class, and it feels real damn good. Honestly,
It's about damn time.
from there, though, we end up bricking the key, going all around the world. Who the hell knows? But we end up back again with an AV +12, which we really needed for some rating. So I put together and pugged a really solid group, and we ended up +2ing this key, which felt so damn good. From here, though, there's only a few dungeons I needed, and I needed a +14 to basically wrap up this challenge. Someone in the group ended up having a +13 knelt that they offered up for us to continue as a pug group and go and tackle, which we did, and we made it up to the first hard boss, the chain guy. And holy hell, was it a close fight. I knew I was gonna die to the chains here, so I just tried to position myself in a way that the tank could end up still hitting my chains. The group ends up breaking all the chains, but we just end up with the healer and the tank, and holy hell, the boss literally bugged out. And we end up timing that plus 13, which literally puts me so freaking close to finishing this challenge. Literally 35 rating away. I did some math here, and all I needed to do was time my 14 Brackenhide key.
Touchdown confirmed. We're safe on live.
That's right, we finally completed the 0 to Hero challenge on the Sub Rogue and hit 3K, baby. It only took us 196 runs with 81 bricked keys, which is a little more than double the amount of bricked keys we had last season on the Holy Paladin, making the Rogue a much harder experience overall and leaving us with a lower efficiency rating on this character. Don't worry, this challenge is going to return in Season 1 of the War Within, so make sure you like and subscribe so you can see what we get ourselves into next season. I hope you all enjoyed the challenge. I have a ton more content planned for the War Within, including more challenges, more Mythic Plus content, maybe some raid content, and of course the guide content that you all love. So please make sure you punch that like button, kiss that subscribe button, and tickle my bell. I mean my what? No, yes. Click the bell to stay up to date with everything coming to the channel, and make sure to check the description below to follow me on all my socials, join our Discord, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.